Let's say, for example, if you're hiring a DevOps guy, right, or a SRE guy, vice versa, anything, will you be cool to look at a resume? Let's say if you're hiring DevOps, will you be cool to talk to a candidate whose designation is SRE from his previous role, or vice versa? Maybe you're hiring for a SRE and the previous designation of the candidate is DevOps engineer. Will you be cool? Because these are the challenges which recruiters generally face when they're hiring for SRE. The hiring manager says, "No, don't get me a guy whose designation is DevOps," right, and vice versa, right? So, what is your take on this when you're hiring for this kind of?
It really depends on the org. So if it was like the first hire, I would say that SRE trumps DevOps engineer, right? So if I was trying to hire my first SRE, I would need someone who's skilled, like I need someone who's skilled in the science of reliability engineering, because we're needing that. Versus like if I'm hiring like my 50th SRE, much more attuned to grow and train somebody who has the skill set. Now, for a DevOps engineer, if I was hiring my first DevOps engineer, I would absolutely hire at SRE. Like, there's no question, because their skills they have overlapping skills, but they're more scientific. Like they can back off some of the science. Right?
So
they have the expertise.
You mean to say you place SRE above DevOps? That's how you say?
Yeah, I get crap for that. But if you look at how much they get paid, an SRE gets paid more than a DevOps engineer. Why? Supply and demand and skill set, right? So that's typically how it is. Now there's people parading around that they're both, but they just want a higher annual salary or annual or hourly rate. But going back to, I know several SRE organizations, that have 1% or like 30 people, right? And it's the more they're willing to train people, because there's not that many of both, right? There's not that many SREs out there. There's not that many DevOps engineers out there. There's a huge glut. And so the ability to cross-train, easy. As a hiring manager, again, going back to my first one, I would try to stick to someone with similar experience.
Okay, so you would probably prefer in that case SRE over DevOps, right? But there are certain scenarios wherein designations don't really play a key role, right? Wherein a guy calls himself DevOps, maybe he does a job of SRE.
Yeah, because these titles are like new, right? So you can kind of tell, like, again, what are you hiring for? Are you hiring for infrastructure automation? Are you hiring for reliability? Are you hiring for scaling? Like security? Like, what are you hiring for? And so the titles change. Like, like how someone who would have been a software engineer said, I helped this application scale to 1 million users. They would make a really good SRE. Like they would really, really, really make a good one, because they have, they were there. Like, because again, like there's their experience of what they did is not pigeonholed to a job title, right? So, and these titles are new. So
if you have to put it in simple words, someone who has seen the scale and the reliability could be a good fit for SRE. A guy who is more done the automation side of it, the infrastructure automation or the ops automation, will be a good fit for DevOps, right? If you have to put it in simple words.
Yeah, because typically, like, who goes for a DevOps job is an operations engineer. Who goes for a SRE job is a software engineer.